Welcome to a brand new episode of Girl, Geek, and the Gay, the show that really knows how to tickle the pear.
I forgot what that's from.
Hogwarts.
Oh yeah, because I don't play. That's why. I don't
tickle the pear.
I don't tickle pears. No, I'm more of a banana type of guy myself. So I might tickle bananas.
Well, I guess they have like little cherries.
Little cherries?
I
In the
mean,
game.
No, the banana and cherries. You know.
Okay.
It's a stem with two cherries.
Sure.
Shut up.
I was thinking mangoes. Bigger. I'm just saying.
Yeah, mango.
No. Just I wasn't thinking like giant, but I just thought mangoes. Just the first thing that came to mind. Tangerines.
You know you're supposed to empty those things out, right?
Okay, wait. You're judging me for thinking mangoes, but you just literally said cherries.
That's a lot closer than mangoes.
To whose? I need to know. Yeah, you might want to get that like that. No, I'm just joking. Wow.
So that voice you hear is the lovely Jaime.
Yes, it is. Hi.
Hello. And also we have the beautiful Stephanie.
Hello.
How you guys doing today?
Good. It's warming up though. No, I mean like the weather. It's hot. It's hot. Stephanie, you know how hot it's been. I'm sure these last few days.
It's Mercury, right?
No, what? I mean, yeah, the mercury is rising, so because of the heat, temperature, thermometers. That's how they work, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I've actually been indoors since the heat started.
Oh, that's right. Lucky.
Yeah. No.
No. The air conditioner's pretty good though, right? But it's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was actually really cold
Oh, good.
because of
Because
the
of
prep.
everything.
Yeah.
That's not how heat works.
Huh?
No, nothing. We just got back from our spring break.
Yeah. We're all a little bit delusional apparently.
It happens.
Yeah. I was looking at trees feeling high earlier today, and I don't do stuff like that. So
It was so weird.
It was
He
so
just
weird.
He was just like, "Wow, it's so hot here in the sun." But then you walk into the shade, and it's not hot anymore.
look at this green ass
that's
tree.
how it goes.
It was weird. I think I was just excited to see you guys because it's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen you guys, so that's why I was like, I'll just how they say you get like certain, I don't know, chemicals that go off in your brain or something like that. I don't know what chemicals they are. No, yeah.
Serotonin or something.
Yeah, something like that, right? When you see, when you socialize and stuff like that. But then it's just too much for me. This is why I'm an introvert. Anyway.
Yes.
How are you, Jose?
I'm okay. Since it's been a while since I saw you guys, I figured I forget a lot of the things that happen. So I do try to take notes, like I should talk about this next time I see them. I'm terrible at taking notes.
Yeah.
Because I go back and look at my notes and I don't remember what the hell it was. Like this one, hide the straw.
Wait, so that's all you wrote?
That's all I wrote.
No.
I don't know what the hell I was talking about.
Why don't you add like a little bit more
I
context?
should have, but I was just like, ooh, hide the straw. And that's what, or Big Daddy cut.
That sounds like a movie cut.
I don't know what.
You're not good at this. That's not how you take notes.
I don't remember what Big Daddy cut was.
Yeah, I do. Anyway,
Yeah, no. I have no idea what either of those two things were.
yeah. The reason the weather is just so weird right now. I mean, I don't know the reason why it's so weird, but it's just. I think that when you're outside and you're like, I'm not used to seeing the heat anymore because we had like such cold weather for like a while. For a while, and up until like this last week, it finally got really warm. Right. And I can appreciate the warmth, but it's too much sometimes. What are you looking for?
I just realized I don't have the timer.
Oh, okay. It's behind my monitor. Yeah, I use it for work now. But yeah. So it's just been so weird. Like just the random like heat that we're getting all of a sudden too. So that's why when I was outside earlier, I was just like, what the heck? Like I did go out to like Moreno Valley yesterday too, and it was a bit warm out there, but it's still, I like that there's still like a cool breeze, So that's been nice. Yeah.
Cool.
How's work been?
Work's been up and down.
Yeah.
Man, sometimes we get busy. Other times there's just nothing.
Yeah.
It feels like they're sending me out further, and traffic is bad. Traffic just gets so ridiculously stupid. I'm like, why does it take me an hour and 15 minutes to go 15 miles?
And where do you drive to and from?
Usually from like Long Beach to San Bernardino. To San Bernardino area.
Got it.
So just and people. So I saw the slowest car accident the other day.
What the?
Just the lady puts on her blinker. There's a car next to her, and she just starts, going into the lane. And it's like, how do you not see them?
Yeah,
Because
right
they're
next
not
to
in your blind spot. Like she's the car that she hit was definitely a little bit in front of her.
Oh.
So if she would have just turned her head a little bit, she would have seen it. So she hit the car, right? And then just kept driving. And then like I saw the other lady try to start pulling over because she just got hit. But this lady just keeps driving.
The first lady. The one that hit her.
The one that hit her just keeps driving.
What?
And then what made me laugh though is that the lady that got hit then starts trying to get the attention of the other lady. But all I can see is her like with her hand out the window, snapping her fingers. Oh. And I'm like, there's 3 lanes of traffic between you guys at this point, lady.
Also, there's a horn.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that work? And you're on the freeway, by the way?
Yes.
Damn. That's how slow. And you got to see all of this.
Yes.
That's how slow traffic wasn't moving that
Yep.
day.
Like she could have gotten out and chased and walked her, like chased her down.
Me. You gonna pay for this? Yeah.
But yeah, been watching a lot of TV.
Cool.
Just TV's great.
What are you watching?
I found that Apple TV really does have some really good shows.
They do. Do you have Apple TV?
I don't.
No, they actually have some. They do have some pretty good stuff. Yeah.
I started watching something called The Big Door Prize, and I was so the premise of this show is that this machine basically appears in a shop, in like a local shop in this town, right? And this machine it'll take your fingerprints, you put in your social security number, and then it spits out a card with your life potential on it.
Oh.
So it starts changing people's lives because they're like, oh, like this is what I could be, right?
Mm.
And then it got me thinking, like that's either, like, how would I react,
Yeah.
to getting a card that's just like, oh, this is what you could be, like this is what you should be,
Yeah.
And apparently like this thing was like super accurate,
Mm.
but it's a really good show.
And it's the way you describe it. It could go either way, right? Like if it tells you like you don't have a lot of potential, you're like, well, let me prove this thing wrong, right?
Yeah.
But if it tells you have great potential, then you're like, oh, let me strive for that type of thing. So that's an interesting idea. What's it called?
The Big Door Prize.
The Big Door Prize.
Yeah, not a great name, honestly.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a very good show. I'm really enjoying it.
Cool. That's cool. I've been watching Ted Lasso still.
Ted Lasso's so good.
It is a good show. It's a show about this guy who becomes a coach for like a football team, but like a soccer team in the UK. Yeah, England. In England, I don't even like soccer, and I really got into like the characters or sports. Yeah, I got into the character. I like sports, though. Especially now after watching Ted Lasso. All the men's
Down, boy.
There's this guy named Danny. The character's name is Danny. To me, he's so underrated, but he is so fine. He is such a fine man. And then Jamie is another guy. Just the fattest butt ever. That's the only reason why I watch the show at this point. Sorry. No, it's a good show though. It has good stories, good episodes. It's been a great show. So thank you, Jose, for recommending that. He's trying to get me to watch this other stuff that I don't feel like watching because I don't like the actor.
Shrinking is an amazing show.
I'm sure.
Like it is so good.
Yeah.
It's such a good show.
Yeah. I'm sure.
And this is all on Apple?
This is all on Apple TV.
Yeah. What have you been watching? Anything good lately?
No. No, my daughter's been taking over the TV.
Aw.
She discovered Powerpuff Girls.
That's not terrible.
No.
It is when she watches the same episodes over and over
Aw.
again. And it's like, it's 6 seasons. Keep going. And she's like, I like this one. And then she's been watching Gabby's Dollhouse.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a DreamWorks show, but it's on Netflix. It's a kid show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Steven Universe by any chance?
I don't like it.
No, you don't. I love Steven Universe. It made me feel the way Pokemon made me feel like for the first time. I know, like I don't know. I just like it. Almost it made me nostalgic for like original Pokemon. But it to me, I like the characters. I think it's better depending on when you stop watching. I think the show does get progressively better. It's a little childish at first, but then it goes in like a crazy, amazing direction. So I've liked it a lot.
I might have to try it again.
Yeah, it's I like the gem stuff because so there's characters that are gems, right? And they're all different gems. And I just like that idea, like that these gems became like, whatever they are, like they're like alien life forms and they're alive. So it's really cool. Yeah. But for me personally, I haven't seen anything aside from that. I watch a lot of YouTube. Oh, the People's Court. I've been so addicted to the People's Court. I just like that judge so much. She's amazing. Marilyn Milian is her name.
Yeah.
She's from Florida. But she's just, I don't know. She's always been really intriguing to me. And I just have been nonstop watching that or YouTube, playing video games kind of. That's been it. Nothing major. Yeah.
I started this game called. You guys have heard of the Ghost Recon series, right?
I think so.
The what?
Ghost Recon. It's an army game, and it's been around for the longest. But I was browsing Game Pass, and they had Ghost Recon Wildlands. So decided to give it a try. It is such an addicting game. It really is.
Like what happens? What do you do?
It's an open world game where you play as a soldier, and you have your squad. And you could infiltrate bases. You have to collect information and try to take down these drug cartels in Bolivia.
Oh, Bolivia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really cool. Like you have different ways of going toward tackling these bases. So you can go in stealthily, which is definitely what you should do because they're not easy. But there's like all these ways to kind of like really immerse yourself and turning off all the HUDs and like all the assist on it and just play by ear because you could hear sounds and like where they're coming from.
Yeah.
So it gets. I like stealth games.
Cool.
Like I like the what's it called? God, I'm totally blanking on this word. Like the planning. The strategy.
Oh,
That it.
Thank you.
The strategy. Thank you, Adolfo.
yeah.
That comes with infiltrating these bases and all that stuff. It's a really fun game, and I imagine it'd be even more fun with friends, but I don't have those.
Yeah, you don't, bitch. Not like you told me, hey, Jaime, let's play this Ghost Recon game. Have you
Do
told
you
me
have
that?
an Xbox?
I don't. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a
exactly.
PS5, but why would you buy it on an Xbox if you have a PS5?
Because I don't have to buy it. I downloaded it on Game Pass, which was exactly how the story started.
Which Xbox?
The Series X.
The newest one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I have one.
Xbox One?
Yeah.
That's the one before this last one?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I was like, wait, like the original Xbox, that huge box with the X on it.
I used to have it.
Yeah, same.
Gave that away. But no, Xbox One, we have that. Would that be compatible?
I think so. Yeah. The game came out in 2017.
Oh. So it's like an Xbox exclusive?
No.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know if it has cross-platform play though.
Got it.
But I just found out that Call of Duty has cross-platform.
A lot of games do it now, like because it makes sense. Like it totally makes sense. Like I've been playing Deceive Inc. That I told you a little bit about. It's it's like a stealthy type of game too, because you're one of like 9 spies that goes into like this world, and you're basically your goal is to get this suitcase that has whatever in it. Like it's like a prize, right? Like you go, you collect the suitcase, but you got to take down little I don't remember what they're called. You're taking down like 4 points before the suitcase is available for you to be able to get, but you disguise yourself as like NPCs through the world. So like
kind of like Hitman.
I've never played Hitman really, so I'm not sure. It could be. but it's a multiplayer game, so it's like you versus 8 other random like people playing. And it's cool. Like, it's interesting. There's different spies. They just released one called Her Name is Red, and she's really cool looking too. I'm not good. I need to invest time in it. But what happens is that I kind of make myself anxious. Like, I want to be better already instead of just focusing on getting better.
basics.
Yeah, I want to win. Like, I want to win already, and I keep losing. So like, man, fuck this game. You know, it gets to that point. But it's interesting. I like the spies idea. I like that they're disguised. I like that everybody gets different weapon styles and different things that you can do to kind of like disguise yourself as like objects, or like have an umbrella shield, for example. It's really, really cool idea.
That is cool.
Yeah, look it up. It's cross-platform as well. So maybe that's something we can play, because there's teams. So we can, if you guys want to get into it, maybe something to look into. Like, unlike Jose, I'm inviting you all to play
You haven't added me yet.
on the PS5.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
I'll add
added her.
you. Did you?
Yes.
When did you guys exchange information? Nobody included me in this.
She did it on
When
the
I
chat.
first got it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Yeah.
I'll add you though. Yeah, I don't even have you, bitch, and I've known you for a long time. You're not a bitch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, but no, we should check it out. If you guys are down, it's I think it was only like $30, and they're doing deal. Oh, it was $20 for like the core game,
Yeah.
and then like the $30 was with like extra stuff in it, and I was like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah, an extra $10.
Extra $10, and you get like different costumes or something like that. But I like it. One of my favorite characters, because she has an automatic weapon. Her name is Madame Shu or something like that. It's spelled Xiu. How would you pronounce that? Okay.
Like Sue, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So that's how I pronounce it. She has a Shu. Zhu? Okay. One of those. Shu or Zhu? One of those.
I think it's you.
Yeah, it could be. All right, cool. I'm not sure either. So, but no, it could be. She has like an automatic weapon, but it's a crossbow, so it's not that powerful. But I like automatic weapons. I don't want to have to keep clicking the trigger, in my opinion. So just, something to look into. It's fun. I got into it because of a YouTuber named True Talent that I watch on YouTube.
YouTuber that you watch on YouTube.
Yeah. He's a Twitch guy, that's why.
Wow.
Too.
I've also been going to the movies a lot. I watched quite a bit. So I watched Shazam. That happened. I also watched Creed 3. So I finally watched Creed 2 recently.
Okay.
And when the Creed series came out, I was like, why? Because like, we already got all the Rocky stories. Like, I don't care about this other off spin-off.
So it Creed was one of the characters in Rocky.
Yeah, he's like his rival and friend.
Okay.
In the Rocky series. So this is his son. So I was like, so not even Rocky's son. Like we get his friend's kid. You know.
Yeah.
Great movie. The Creed 1 was a great movie. I highly enjoyed it. It was really good. I love that Sylvester Stallone is actually very underrated when his acting, because a lot of his movies.
He's a trash person. Got it.
A lot of his movies are just so
Cliche.
yeah, and he's very generic, But his acting is actually really good, especially in in the Creed series, like in both Creed 1 and Creed 2. Like, he is great.
He's actually in it. I didn't know he was in it.
He's not in Creed 3, which I was disappointed in. And I remember being upset because I felt like he should have died in like Creed 1, and then he didn't want to, basically.
Oh.
So he didn't. Creed 2 still my favorite. Creed 3 was really good. Also went to watch John Wick.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some asshole decided to bring their baby to watch John Wick.
Wasn't me.
That kid was crying the whole time. I'm just thinking like, oh man, if one of those stray bullets could just take that kid out.
Stop. No. Look. People have children, and I get it.
I get it. Don't go to the
right?
movies.
No. Well, don't take them to see John Wick 4. Like it was a baby, or was it like
baby.
a?
No, well, it sounded like a. I didn't.
Were
I
they
didn't
holding
age the
it?
kid. I don't know. I didn't see the kid. I could just hear the crying, and it sounded like Goo Goo Gaga shit.
Don't take your baby to watch Creed. Wait. John Wick 4.
or to watch Creed.
There's the same guy that's gonna take them to watch Fast and the Furious X.
Those Fast and Furious movies need to stop.
Yeah, they're gonna end up in space, didn't they, or something like that? Or they're going to. Yeah.
Do you like Fast and Furious?
I do.
I've seen the first two, and then just bits and pieces of the other ones, and I'm just like, no, I'm not doing this. I can't deal with Vin Diesel. Really,
It's all about the family.
oh my god! And then and people get really upset when I say this. Paul Walker's terrible.
Paul Walker's dead.
He doesn't make him any better.
Oh, wow. So mean. He's so mean.
He is a terrible actor.
Yeah.
Like you think Keanu Reeves is? Oh my god, Keanu Reeves was so bad in John Wick.
Of
4.
course.
They gave him way too much dialogue.
Oh no.
And every time he would talk, people would start laughing, and I'm like, that wasn't a joke.
Oh no.
But his acting is just terrible.
No. Go ahead.
With Keanu, I don't take him seriously, especially when he was in The Matrix.
Yeah.
I just see Bill and Ted in my head. So I just think of him as that goofy, like, stoner dude. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, when I see him play serious roles, I'm like,
Yeah, the action in John Wick 4, really good. It's so cool. His acting is just not. Like, it's not there. They gave him way too much dialogue in this movie, and he tried. Like, you know what? Like, A for effort, buddy. But, like, there's just this one line that just keeps repeating in my head with him going, amen. And I was like, wow, that was bad.
with Paul Walker?
Yes.
I see him more like in movies. He suits better like with She's All That, where he's like just those type of
know what
movies.
that
Like that pretty boy type of like romantic
Not-
role almost.
Well, he was.
Or was he a
just like
douchebag?
douche.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I did enjoy Joyride. No?
No.
Yes. Wait,
I
that's the
didn't
one
see it.
where Candy Cane.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, where him and his brother.
Mhm,
Yeah, okay.
they have a CV radio. And
They made out?
He pretended to be this woman named Candy Cane, and this guy took it seriously.
Yeah, they were
and
messing
went
with this
on a
trucker.
Murder spree.
Oh
after
shit!
that.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Oh.
Yeah.
Thought he made out with his brother.
Damn,
That'd be
boy.
weird. that was a good movie.
I enjoyed that movie.
Freaked me out. Made me not want to go on road trips for a while. But yeah,
What was the name of the movie?
Joyride.
Joyride. Yeah. When did that one come out?
A long time ago.
Years.
Okay.
It had to have been like 15 years at this point.
Oh, crazy. You know, I've been considering watching some like I was telling you, watching some old horror flicks that people really like. Like that's why I watched The Evil Dead, and then that's why I kind of gave up on doing that because of The Evil Dead.
Evil Dead is great.
Have you ever seen the Evil Dead series, like the movies?
And I'm really excited about the new
I
one.
don't think so.
No. Okay. They might be better with the recent ones. Oh my God. This movie, I mean, I don't see the appeal, but I also understand people's nostalgia behind it and things like that. So there was one of my former coworkers who specifically said the main reason he likes it was because of the nostalgic feeling of it. You know, I don't get it. I didn't get it. I was like, what did I miss?
So Evil Dead 2 and 3, I give it to you.
Okay.
I understand those movies are not good.
Yeah.
I still enjoy them for what they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not good.
Yeah,
But the
Evil
original
Dead-
Evil Dead was.
Yeah, yeah. So it was good. And that one, I agree. Like it did its thing, but then trying to like kind of go back and erase things that had happened and then not really explain.
I don't remember the other
Why?
two. I just
Yeah,
remember
there's
they're
a
not
reason
good.
you don't remember it because it was bad. And so
No,
anyway,
yeah, like the time travel in the third one.
it got weird. It got
Yeah.
really weird. It got really weird. Yeah, like it lost me. I was like, I don't get it. Like we're in
But then-
medieval times all of a sudden.
But then when we also got a Netflix series, Ash versus the Evil Dead.
That was kinda good,
and
yeah.
it's really good too.
Yeah, I just didn't keep up with it though. Like I didn't keep up with it. I guess because I didn't really have that attachment to it either, and I didn't understand part of the world because of that. But I guess the reason I brought up The Evil Dead was because I see movies like with like Denzel Washington that pop up and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I want to watch those movies. I kind of did it with stuff that you like. Can't remember the Christmas thing you watch all the time.
Die Hard.
Die Hard, yeah,
Like
yeah. I
Die
kind of
Hard?
did. I saw a lot of Die Hard at a certain point as well. Aliens, I went back and watched that. Like, and it was Aliens was really good, and
Oh.
then it just got worse. You know,
There's more.
there's like 4 of them.
Yeah, there's
although
Alien.
Prometheus was really
Well,
good.
there's Alien is the original.
Yeah.
Then it's Aliens.
Yeah.
Aliens is the second one, and then
Yeah.
Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because they bring her back to life in the future.
Do they?
And she's part alien.
And then they have Prometheus and Prometheus 2, right?
I think I've only seen
The first
Alien
one.
and
Original?
Aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
other than that, I'm like,
I
and
think
then
you're
Alien
good.
versus Predator.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
It's okay.
That's usually the reaction people give, so I haven't bothered.
Because they don't need
watching.
to cross over like that, you know. Like we lose stuff.
Like Freddy versus Jason.
yeah.
I laughed mostly throughout that entire movie.
You know, and see that's the thing about like those movies, like, and this is the same thing about the Fast and the Furious movies for me is that when you start, like, there's a point where I think a trilogy is good, right? But when you start doing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it's like, oh my god. Now it to me it's a little exhausting because where else are you gonna take me? And then they start becoming
Space.
then Jason X wasn't that like wasn't he in
Yes.
space? So my
Jason
thing is
Goes
like,
to Hell.
does he?
No, that's one of the movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Jason
saying.
Goes to
That's
Hell.
what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay. But he goes to hell, right?
Yeah, he goes
okay,
to hell.
so he
goes
does go to
space,
hell.
He goes everywhere.
Anyway, no,
He
but
travels. Like Jason's well traveled.
yeah, see, but it just they start becoming jokes at a
Right.
certain point, you know, like it's no longer this fear thing. I think like there was Freddy Krueger, one of the Freddy Krueger's movies that had like Kelly Rowland in it, and it was just like it was those teenage slasher movies at a certain point, you know. That's what happens. You start kind of losing that appeal to those characters. They don't become scary. They're not scary anymore.
Agreed.
You know, it
Just like Child's Play.
Child's Play. I had oh my god, like that Child's Play gave me nightmares as a child. I was horrified by dolls. You know those dolls that used to lift up and they would open their fucking eyes?
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Oh, I remember those.
horrible. I threw some away, my sister's dolls, because I was like, this shit's gonna stab me in my bed.
My sister. Well, no, my sister is afraid of dolls, but I meant to say my daughter has a doll that when it lays down, it closes its eyes. I was like, oh,
No.
they're gonna be the
That's
possessed
creepy.
ones.
No.
But
Too
no,
much.
they don't scare me.
Yeah, because they become jokes at a certain point. Like the first Child's Play was pretty creepy. You know, same thing with the second and the third, I think. But then we got like the Bride of Chucky, and it was just like a big old joke.
Yeah.
And then they started having children for some reason, like
That
Chuggy
ugly,
babies.
ugly thing.
yeah. And I don't even think I saw those. You know,
Yeah.
but they get to that point where they become jokes, and it's similar to the Fast and the Furious. Like the first one I liked it. The second one was cool. Third one maybe decent, and then people lost. Somebody died, but then didn't die, and then yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen the Tokyo one.
Tokyo Drift. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the only one I haven't seen.
That's because
Yeah.
Vin Diesel wasn't in it, right?
No, I was like, there's
I
no.
think he's in the end.
I just didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't see the point in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a spin-off. It was supposed to be not even a spin-off. It was supposed to be like a new story.
That's how they introduced him into the other ones.
Who him?
Yeah.
For the Tokyo, I don't remember names, but
The
the Asian guy.
oh. Yep. Yeah. But then
he
it
came in after, and then he.
it's like they time traveled though with the movies too, because then the Fast and the Furious ended up being the future of Tokyo Drift. No, the past of Tokyo Drift. Yeah, it was weird. Maybe I don't know. I don't keep up with the movies enough.
I don't remember it that way.
Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. So empathy is going to cause some people to starve.
Empathy is going to cause some people to starve.
Yes.
Oh,
Do you want to repeat it too, Stephanie?
No.
it was weird.
thank
Yeah, it was weird. Okay.
Professor believes he's discovered an equation that can make this science fiction trope a reality.
Uh-oh.
Are we in the beginning stages of The Last of Us?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Ask Stephanie.
Science wants to put you into a very deep sleep.
Okay.
Yay.
I saw a story today that made me hurt when I see other people living my dream.
Uh-oh.
Does Warner Brothers really know what they're doing?
No.
And we're also getting an entire another entry. No, we're not actually. That story was
False.
yeah.
Okay.
I forgot to take it off.
What a lie.
Oh well.
Kill my dream.
So there are plenty of sounds out there in frequencies that humans can't hear.
Is this the poop sound?
This is not the poop. What?
Oh, okay.
The what?
Wasn't there like a frequency that makes people poop?
Oh, the brown noise?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Just,
but
I thought that's what to talk about.
Have you heard of the brown noise?
No.
It is a sound that is played at a level that it makes people go to the bathroom.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
It fixes constipation right up,
I
apparently.
I thought that's what you were where you were going with it.
Well, earlier Stephanie mentioned that maggots scream.
Oh my god.
So scientists have also realized that plants, quote unquote,
Can-
scream
Yes.
when they're in distress.
They scream or
It's not necessarily a scream. So the sounds that they've detected are some kind of clicks. Yeah, so clicking noises that are just outside of the human frequency.
Whoa,
sound
crazy.
hearing thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't they also like feel when they're getting eaten or something like that?
Well, yeah, that's the theory right now.
Yeah.
So, like the aromas that flowers send out is kind of like a defense mechanism. And they.
Sorry.
You good? Yeah. So it's a signal to other flowers basically to strengthen their defenses and or attract other animals. So if flowers are in distress, they release these scents
Yeah.
that can sometimes attract other animals. Like for instance, if there's like pesticides or something that is just bothering the flower,
Okay.
like they release these scents to try to attract other animals to come and eat those pests.
Oh.
It's kind of like The Happening.
Yes.
Yes.
I did not see that.
Yeah. You didn't see it?
No,
Oh.
I'm not a Mark Wahlberg guy.
Well, it's also an M. Night Shyamalan movie,
And-
so yeah. And at
I
that
love
time, he
Zooey
wasn't.
Deschanel, though.
She was in that. Zoe Deschanel.
I like
I'm
her.
trying
She's
to
the main-
remember her.
The main girlfriend.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it. Yeah.
I do like her, but just Mark Wahlberg is so bad. Like we're talking about bad actors earlier. Mark Wahlberg should be on that list.
Oh, yeah. You would not like this movie.
I've seen clips.
It always feels like it's
Like,
like
do you
a.
mean to say plants are doing this to us?
It always feels like a funny movie when he's
He's
in
being
it.
serious.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I kept laughing. And then, oh, what's his name?
Steve,
M. Night Shyamalan.
No, because he was in.
you got this.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. Please forgive me.
Is it in the movie?
He's in the movie of The Happening.
I have no idea who's even in that movie. I just knew Mark
He's one
Wahlberg
of
was
the
in it.
fathers. He's his friend. Oh, I'm gonna be.
John Leguizamo.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm like, I totally blanked, but he was in that movie. So of course I was just like, is this gonna be a funny movie?
I don't remember. I remember what happens in the movie, but I don't remember like these actors in the movie. It's so weird.
It's so bad that I liked that movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll watch it all the time because then I always talk to the plants and be like, I am your friend. I am not here to harm you because I don't want you possessing my brain
Yeah.
to making me want to kill myself.
Yeah, I do that with
Like
Google.
fungus.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
too.
talk to the fungus, and I do that with Google. Google, thank you. I appreciate you.
But yeah, no, he's in that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember a few years ago they did these experiments with these plants where they would drop them, right?
Oh my god.
And after a while of dropping them, like repeatedly, the petals would start to close on the plants. Like whenever they would drop it, the petals would close
Okay.
to kind of protect themselves.
Okay.
So
Crazy.
I mean,
yeah.
that's
I talked
sentience,
to
right?
Isabella.
Yeah, what did she say?
She no, I
She clicks back
talk
at
to
you?
her. She doesn't talk to me.
She doesn't
I
click
didn't
at
say
you?
that. No. But I put her outside recently because I want her to grow more. I'm talking about my plant, guys. I want her to grow more. And I find, well, I was clarifying who Isabella is. That's why I said that, you dirty person. Anyway, so I put her outside because I wanted her to grow more. And then she kind of like started, one of her leaves actually like, I thought, I was like, fuck, I murdered her because it just like started like shriveling almost, but it's expanding now in the opposite direction. So it's pretty cool. But I talked to her and she grew an extra leaf after I talked to her. I told her she was pretty.
Oh,
FY, they feel.
I have a plant. It's a zebra plant. We named it Rodrigo after me.
Cute. After you?
Yeah.
Your name is Rodrigo?
My last name.
Oh, okay.
My maiden last name, Rodriguez.
Got it.
But that thing is so temperamental, just like me.
Yeah.
That when it's in the heat, it just goes, it wilts, and it gets so upset. So I talk to it, and then Ashley will go water it because
Yeah.
I don't water plants. When I buy plants, I'm like, here you go, something for you to take care of.
Yeah.
Like I just bought a Bulbasaur one,
Oh, cute.
and then an elephant and a flamingo vase one
Yeah.
with succulents. But anyway, about Rodrigo, she I can tell she's not happy with the heat. So she's kind of just so she's very moody. But when you talk to her, she starts blossoming.
Perking up. Yeah. It's cute. It really works. It's weird, but it really works.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was expecting why are you gay?
Me too.
Nope, that's the wrong one. Wait.
There's things right. There's things. I'll say.
Yeah, but like
The color doesn't make sense.
They're over there.
Oh, okay.
I had to do that to read it.
The colors aren't the same as the ones up there.
Yeah, they are.
They're not in the same order, are they?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, this yellow looks green, and then this orange looks yellow or not the same. Anyway, that's just me.
Oh, from the angle, yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at from his angle, they match.
Oh. Okay.
Light refractions.
Bah.
So astrophysicist figures out a very important
Yeah.
equation when he's hospitalized for his heart condition.
Oh.
Ron Mallett has dedicated most of his life to figuring out time travel.
So he knows how to time travel now?
He thinks he figured it out. So he doesn't think that it'll be possible within his lifetime. But his father passed away when he was 10 years old. And reading the book by H.G. Wells, The Time Machine, like he decided that he wants to make a time machine because he wants to visit his dad.
Right.
So he says in the first paragraph, it's the first paragraph that changed my life. I still remember the quote. Scientific people know very well that time is only a kind of space. And why cannot we move in time as we move about in the other dimensions of space? So they call it an equation, but I mean, they didn't offer any numbers, which is good because I don't want to
Just look at the numbers.
But he said, it turns out that black holes can create gravitational fields that could lead to the creation of time loops that could allow us to go back in time. The way he explained it, he goes like, let's say you have a cup of coffee in front of you. Start stirring the coffee with a spoon. It started to spin. That's what a spinning black hole does. In Einstein's theory, space and time are related to each other. So when the black hole spins, it could cause a shift. It could cause a time shift.
Crazy.
Yeah. Mallard would create an intense and continuous rotating beam of light that can create gravity. Like, how dense would these beams have to be, though,
This sounds
to create gravity?
this sounds like Tony Stark's situation. Like
No,
you
you
know-
figured it out. Oh,
No, well-
spoilers.
what?
Stephanie's not that far.
No,
yet.
what? How far have you seen of the MCU stuff? No, what?
I started-
but you don't even know what I'm talking about.
I started Iron Man 3.
Yeah. No, well, there's, I don't think, because I wasn't even going to go that direction. But what I'm just saying is like that his dad had like an idea that eventually in
with,
the future.
with Iron Man 2.
Can I
Yeah.
finish what I'm saying? No, yeah, no, but no,
Well, we're
that
talking
he,
about time travel. So
Yeah.
my bad. You're right.
no, yeah, his dad had an idea, but his idea was not like the technology of that time was not capable of his idea type of thing. So that's where I was going with it, Jose.
Yeah, so he would need galactic amounts of energy and has no idea how big this machine even has to be for it to work.
Yeah. Wow.
Wait, question before we move on. Did we ever finish the thing before I mentioned the happening? I feel like we didn't
The
finish.
plants being able to make noises. I think we did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We finished?
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
totally missed it. I was like,
No worries.
Did we conclude that?
Yeah. Because then you said
That's how we got to this part.
Got
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Okay. I was like, I thought we just forgot where we were and just started a new thing.
that sounds like us.
That's also a possibility.
Yeah. Time machine.
Sorry.
Oh, he also said that the restraints of the machine. So I've always believed that once time travel exists, it always exists. You know,
Okay.
because that's what makes sense in my head.
Like, what do you mean it always exists? Like, even in our time?
Yeah, because if you could time travel from the future
Yeah.
anywhere,
Yeah.
that means that wherever you are, that's where time travel exists.
Yeah.
So I've always believed that once time travel exists, it always exists.
Yeah.
But what he says is that he thinks that these laws of times would be
My brain.
they would be restricted to when the machine was created. So you wouldn't be able to go past that time.
Oh,
you could go forward
that's
in
the
time
point.
So you could always go back, but
to
like,
that specific point.
That is the earliest back in time you can go.
And that would make sense because, like, then at what point, like what you were saying, like, once time travel exists, it could exist at any time.
Yeah.
Right. Then at what point, like, we would have seen it at a certain point, type of thing, you know? But what he says makes sense. Like, this is the point where it's created, as opposed to going back and creating,
seeing the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Wow.
That's gotta be cool.
That's gotta be cool. That's gotta be cool. But then butterfly effects.
Have you guys ever heard of the chronograph? I think that's what it's called.
Probably. What is it?
So the chronograph is a device that is theorized that is in the Vatican vault, in the Vatican archives.
Okay.
That vault underneath the Vatican, and it is a device that people believe could see the past. So you can't interact with it, but you could see it. There are pictures that were supposedly taken from this chronograph, and some of it was of Jesus Christ. But then it came out like these are pictures of a movie.
Oh, yeah.
And like they're just like black and white pictures or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a cool idea.
Yeah. To just be able to see and then not impact or affect. That's interesting.
There was that Denzel
Jurassic
movie,
Park.
Deja Vu.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The only you saw that movie then too, right? The thing that bothered me about that movie in the end is that it doesn't end up being him anyway. This is a whole new like a different timeline version of the Denzel Washington character, right? Because
I remember
his original self, the one that did everything through the movie, ends up like dying, and then his
so it's kind of like that teleportation theory, where you basically kill one version of yourself and then another one
exists. Yeah, except this
created?
is just like a past version or a future version of him. I don't fucking remember what timeline it was. What were you gonna say?
It's kind of like that movie with Bruce Willis.
Looper.
Yes.
Or even like Gamora. What happens with Gamora?
Spoilers.
Sorry.
That's Guardian of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Are you there yet? No? Okay.
No, she's in Iron Man 3.
Shut up. I keep forgetting.
I think Guardians is after that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, Stephanie.
My sisters talk about it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's okay.
I feel so bad.
That's how I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Got you. But then you yelling spoilers. She'll forget.
I will.
No, I'll give you a hard time.
Stoner brain. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Not really.
Why are you gay? Okay.
Before you move on, that theory with the time travel and all of that stuff just reminds me of this book I just read. Listen to. I don't read. I just
Same.
listen
Because
to
we're
this.
for losers.
Same.
So I
Agreed.
was listening to this audio book called Dark Matter. So the scientists, I don't want to give it away, but they pretty much talk about how it's not necessarily time travel. You're just going into different worlds at that specific time, and it's infinite.
That's interesting.
So you can find versions of yourself in a different time, like in the same time, but in a different world. So you can see how your life could have been.
So it's like more interdimensional travel. That is interesting.
That's kind of wasn't there a Jet Li movie like that too?
The One.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
Yeah. Or like the multiverse theories in general. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that kind of reminded me of that. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like if that can actually happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think time is it's linear because that's how we view it. But I really do believe that all of time is happening all at once. Like that's really what I think. And I think that there are weak points in the fabrics of the world, and that's how we see ghosts.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about this before. When we did the episode on ghosts.
One of the things though that I do find interesting that people say, it's like, how come we've only we only see ghosts that are like in like medieval wear or like a period.
I don't
pieces.
understand why ghosts have clothes at all. The clothes didn't die.
You just want to see them naked?
But if you think about this though,
It
like,
would make more sense.
but if you're saying that time
it
is
follows time
exactly,
happening.
then you're seeing what they're wearing.
Exactly.
At the
You're
time.
seeing them at that. Exactly.
Yeah, at the time. So maybe we'll never see like the ghosts of like recent, like events, right? Or like what we perceive as ghosts, right? But maybe in 30 to 100 years, people will see us, in our jeans and, button up shirts or whatever, So yeah.
Man, I feel bad for whoever's gonna live in my apartment.
Yeah. You're gonna be walking around naked. There you go.
Yeah. My clothes didn't die.
Yeah. Important.
So we know the cordyceps virus is a real virus. There is currently a fungus that the CDC has warned is already found in 28 states.
No. What the?
Yep.
California being one of them.
Not
Yep.
California. Damn it, you perfect weather.
Candida auris, or C. auris, is resistant to antifungal drugs and can be hard to identify with standard lab tests, making it even more difficult to properly treat.
Oh my God.
First detected back in 2017, really started spreading around 2020, 2021.
Whoa.
And mostly in healthcare facilities. So it's not really a threat to healthy people, but it's really dangerous in these healthcare facilities because they can enter patients' bloodstreams and cause severe and deadly infections.
Yeah.
California has the second most amount of cases.
How many is it? Does it say how many?
It did, but I didn't write it down. I think it was 289. Florida was number one with like 312.
Think about the weather.
Never going to Florida.
Yeah, that sounds like a Florida thing though too.
Number 3 was New York, and
Heavily populated areas too.
yeah, and I think like number 4 and 5 were like Illinois and Texas, I believe.
Yeah. So what do I got to move to?
Alaska.
Yeah. Or Washington.
Fungus can't survive in the cold,
Right.
or in the heat.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Just go.
You know there are no mosquitoes in Iceland.
Really?
Yeah,
That makes sense. 'Cause it's
Wow.
cold.
Iceland isn't well. No, I think Iceland, like the coldest
green?
it gets is like 27
Oh.
degrees.
So wait, why are there no mosquitoes in Iceland?
Fucking no.
Oh.
But there are no mosquitoes in Iceland.
Because they
you're
live
thinking
more along the.
Greenland.
Yeah, I was thinking Greenland. Yeah. They're closer to like the equator, right? Like the mosquitoes are
I just
like
figured they
thrive.
would go wherever there was heat and water, like pooled water.
Oh, but humidity too, right? Don't they need like high amounts of humidity,
A lot of moisture.
moisture?
I remember reading something about scientists trying to phase out mosquitoes.
Please.
So what they're doing is they're creating these not synthetic, but they're making it so that there are these other mosquitoes out there that can't breed.
The female ones.
Yeah. So when the mosquitoes that can breed all die out, basically, like we're gonna be left with these.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say is that there's like they're mutating like female mosquitoes to then pass on that gene that doesn't allow them to
Yes.
create babies. So
makes sense.
they only create other females that can't, or they don't create other females, something along those lines. But basically, they won't be able to reproduce. So they like release those type of mosquitoes that already have that gene, and it passes it on to the next generation and going forward. That's also very similar to what happens in Mass Effect.
Oh, the genophage.
Yeah, where like they were infecting
Krogans,
something like that. They were infecting the big bulky lizard-looking ones with a virus that didn't allow them to reproduce at a certain point. So yeah, that's crazy. It totally related in my head.
Did you ever play Mass Effect? Great games. Well,
Yes.
I played the first 2. I haven't played the last one.
I played it. It wasn't as bad as people said, but I understand why people were upset by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first 2 are really cool.
Yeah.
The lore behind it.
Yeah, yeah. They it was very much about making decisions, and so the last major decision was not as expansive as people wanted it to be.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I'm just sharing. I'm not going to tell you what the finale is, but it wasn't as expansive, and so people were like, "Oh, that sucks." Like, why did we only get like this many decisions as opposed to whatever ever many decisions people wanted. But it's a great game. I played all three like back to back at a certain point.
Wow, they're massive games.
Yeah, and it was a collection. Like I bought
Yeah.
the on a PS4. I bought the Mass Effect collection. The third one was more difficult because of the play style kind of changed, in the sense of like you had to reload your weapon you had to collect bullets and stuff
Okay.
like that. So yeah, but I love playing the side missions on that. It was really great.
Nice. Good games, though.
Yeah, really good games.
Scientists theorize that within 10 years, we'll figure out how to put humans into a state of hypersleep.
To like what, travel?
It'll be great for space travel,
Mm-hmm.
for long distance space travel. Also for people that are just sick and we don't have ways to
cures.
treat them. Because putting somebody into putting them into a medically induced coma or like putting them down with anesthesia, it's not the same as this what they call torpor, which is the medical term for the sleep-like state that animals enter during hibernations. So they induced torpor into rats. And then like these rats went into like these dark reduced temperature spaces and just would hibernate. And they think that space does a really big number on the human body. A lot of astronauts, once they come back, they have lost like over 20% of muscle mass. It ages you faster. It makes your bones weaker. And the microgravity just has really bad effects on it, as well as radiation. So they think that this would be a really good way. Like somehow the torpor would help not like mitigate those symptoms.
Yeah.
Basically.
So like when we go into like a really deep sleep like that, or even like the reason that you're kind of induced into comas to like help your body recover, right? So or keep your body like managed in a certain point at a certain point. So that's the idea, I guess, would be to like so your body doesn't struggle as much. It's just in a state of recovery at that point. That's interesting.
Yeah. So it really slows down your heart rate. I think some alligators do this. Where like they'll go into this basic hibernation thing where like their heart rate slows, so you really don't have to eat or
lizards in general, don't they?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it was something on the History Channel where it was like what it would be like, if all humans disappeared or something, and they go around showing like the basically nature taking the planet back.
Right.
And they're talking about all of these animals in zoos. And I remember them talking about a certain alligator being the one that'll live the longest because it would induce torpor and just wait it out for years without needing any food.
Crazy. Because your body's not using as much energy either if you're in that state.
And I could really use a nap.
It kind of reminds me. I'm trying to look up the movie.
Vanilla Sky.
The day after tomorrow.
No.
I only said that because I was thinking about Vanilla Sky right now.
Why?
Because
Tom Cruise.
No, not really. Because doesn't he go into like a state of like sleep or something
I've
like
never
that?
seen it.
Oh, okay.
I know the ending.
Yeah,
I guess, but I have no idea what the story is.
What was her name? Was in it, right? Oh,
yeah. Did you figure it out?
I did.
oh, what was it? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I can't remember the name of the actress, but I think that it has to do with like, Penelope Cruz, isn't it? Yeah, so the movie gets a little like psychedelic towards the end, and it was just like, what the fuck what just happened? But it was very much of that time. Where were you?
So with the deep sleep, it reminded me of watching Pitch Black.
Oh,
So how they woke up because they had to go, like, I guess.
Pee.
No. Didn't like the
just
meteor? Didn't the meteor hit their ship or something, and then they were going into distress? So then one of the captains woke up and had to land them on the plane on that awful planet.
yeah,
I've seen that movie years ago. I like that movie too.
yeah.
It has
it was
Vin
good.
Diesel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Riddick.
I like the Riddick character. So I like Pitch Black. They had a game called
The Chronicles of Riddick.
The Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher Bay, which is a prequel to Pitch Black. It's actually a really good game, and it shows how he gets the eye shine and everything. It's really cool. It's a really cool game. the movie Chronicles of Riddick
Terrible.
wasn't great.
Yeah.
And recently I saw that they had the movie Riddick on some streaming thing, and I tried to watch it, and 25 minutes in, I'm like, why is Vin Diesel still narrating? Why do they let Vin Diesel narrate anything? Like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, this man, you could hear him reading.
Oh, no.
Okay? Like, how is that possible? I can hear this man reading.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that because they were in a deep sleep.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just like, oh, so I guess that is a thing when you're traveling to be.
Yeah. They
also do
Didn't
it
they
in-
do it in Aliens?
Yeah, I think so. Or in the original Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's that movie Passengers as well.
A lot of space movies do like the deep sleep stuff for traveling in space. Yeah. Austin Powers? Oh yeah. Through time.
Oh, yeah, that's a long piss. That's just what I remember.
You have piss on the mind a lot right now.
Austin Powers was chronic, what is it? Frozen? What do you call it?
Cryogenically.
Yeah, but Dr. Evil was put to sleep because he was in Spain.
Yes. I don't know. So, this woman just lived out my dream, right? Beatrice Flamini chose to live all alone 230 feet underground in a Spanish cave with no direct contact with anyone for 500 days.
What? How though? How can you live? Don't you need sunlight at a certain point?
Well, they wanted to study the effects.
Oh.
So they were monitoring her.
Oh, okay.
She said, when they came to get me, I was asleep. I thought something had happened. I said, already? Surely not. I had to finish my book.
Oh,
She read over 65 books.
wow.
She, hold on, I wrote this down. She exercised, drew, painted, and knitted woolly hats.
How much money did she get? I'm
I have
down.
no idea.
I'm kind of down.
Yeah, so she was closely monitored by psychologists and researchers looking at the physical effects on the body and the brain. She mentioned that she never thought about coming out early and didn't even want to come out when it was time to go.
Introvert to the max.
For real.
Yeah, so she went down on November 21st, 2021, without any updates to the world, and even instructed the team not to tell her, even if there was a family emergency.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I get it.
Stop.
She said, I've been silent for a year and a half, not talking to anyone but myself. There was a moment when I had to stop counting the days. She did deal with auditory hallucinations, she said. She goes, when you're silent for long enough, the brain just makes it up.
Wow. Like she was hearing voices?
Yeah.
But, and then don't you just hallucinate people at a certain point or no?
I know that sometimes I don't sleep very much. So after about the 48-hour mark, I started hallucinating things.
Holy shit. That's not good. That you've been up for 48 hours.
That's what I heard. That's what my hallucinations told me.
So you start seeing things?
Yeah.
Wow. Like what?
It looked like it was snowing in my apartment.
What the fuck? Are you high?
I remember like I was sitting there just watching TV, and all of a sudden like I could see snow coming down.
Wow.
And I was like, I should sleep.
It was Ash.
I started seeing the Langoliers.
What the heck?
I don't even know what that is.
You don't?
Stephen King book.
Yeah. Well, it's
Movie.
also a movie. Yeah. Yeah. It's those things that eat the world,
That
right?
sound like Rice Krispies.
Oh my God.
And have these, they look like crazy walnuts with like razor sharp teeth.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
I started seeing those. I was like, oh, I need to go to sleep.
Wow. That's a trip. I've never been to that point. I like there's been times where I can't sleep that well. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning because I had coffee really late or something like that. And I'll stay up to like and go to work or something, but never 48 hours or even close to that. That's crazy.
I was doing my own theory.
Your own theory.
You
of
want
what?
to experiment?
I was experimenting to see what happens when you stay up.
Oh.
I wanted to be a scientist so badly, so I just was like,
Sacrifice
what happens?
yourself.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy.
And it didn't help. At that time, I was watching a lot of Stephen King movies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was the thing. I started hallucinating.
Yeah, yeah. They also say that if you're like in a pitch black room, doesn't that cause like hallucinations too? Especially auditory hallucinations?
I'm not sure.
Like just complete darkness.
I know that complete silence does.
Maybe it's complete silence. I don't think.
But I mean, they have those like the hyperbaric chambers.
Hyperbolic?
No. Those are the oxygen ones. They have, what are they called? Oh my god.
You're the science guy.
No, the capsules that people go into for. Oh god.
The CAT scans one?
No, it's these capsules that people go into, and it's like meditation, but you
For
start
water?
hallucinating. Yeah,
Oh.
I just can't remember what the hell they're called.
You're
right
like
now.
dipped in water or something,
Yeah.
though, right? I don't know what they're called.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called.
God damn it, it's gonna bug me.
I'm gonna type water
But
capsules.
I want to try that. That's all it's gonna give you is like some pills. Like here's some placebos.
That's exactly what it gave me. It says rethinking water. Yeah, okay. I don't know what to okay, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Why do we say that? What were we talking about?
She was in a cave
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Lucky.
and then hallucinating,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
he said he was up. That's where we got.
Yeah. Those are water. The reason that we started talking about like specifically those tubes.
Because they help you. Like a lot of people hallucinate and have these experiences when they're in these fucking things that I cannot remember what the hell they're called.
Sure.
Wow, we're bad at this.
You.
So separate sensory deprivation tanks.
That's what they're called.
That's what they're called.
Okay.
That I could not, for the life of me, figure it out.
Thank you. Wait. So.
to answer your question,
thank
they
you.
relieve stress
Oh, okay.
and anxiety.
Because-
Like masturbation.
But you can do that too in the tank.
I mean, that's
No. Yeah. You'll be floating.
So,
be
it
the
says,
first time.
says relieve stress and ease muscle tension and pain,
Ah.
and improve your mood.
But it's like just helping you focus or calm you down and stuff like that. Interesting.
It's a meditation thing.
Weed.
Not the same, man.
It's organic.
You still have senses.
Yeah.
So while game developer Portkey have distanced themselves and their Hogwarts Legacy game from J.K. Rowling, as well as other actors from the movie, real-life Batman villain David Zaslav is doubling down and partnered with Rowling to produce a new Harry Potter series.
Mm. Okay.
So the idea is to adapt every book as a season. The original plan was to adapt The Cursed Child as a 9th film. But Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson don't want to return because they don't want to work with Rowling.
What would they be? Like what would they wouldn't be the same.
Well, if they would have done the Cursed Child, that's a continuation.
Oh,
of
okay.
of the Harry Potter story.
Got you.
And it is older Harry and older
Hermione.
characters. Yeah, and even Rupert Grint at some point he seemed interested in coming back, but recently he said something along the lines of like, he said the Star Wars guys had like 40 years to come back to their thing because like mine was only 10 years ago. He goes, so I'm kind of doing something different right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Warner Bros. Did apparently try to buy out Rowling, but she put up some outstanding demands, outlandish demands, and they just decided to partner up with her. I heard, so I listened to this podcast called The Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling.
Okay.
Very interesting podcast, and they interviewed J.K. Rowling. The more she spoke, the dumber she sounded. Because it's a lot of I've done my research, and it's like, have you though?
Google.
Because there's a lot of things that you're saying that aren't scientifically fact. You know, like she's like, oh, there are only two genders. I'm like, well, like when we look at it, like, okay, you can argue that there are two sexes, and even that isn't necessarily true.
Right, exactly.
Like, no, that so you're already wrong in doing your own research. But what I've realized is just that people do their own research to confirm their own bias. Like you come up with an idea. That's what your idea is, and you decide that you're only going to research things that reinforce your idea of things.
Yeah.
And that's what it seemed like a lot of what she was doing. I don't think that she hates trans people like people are saying. I just don't think she understands.
Well,
But that is where a lot of things come from, you know. Like, I don't believe that a lot of people are racist. People say racist shit because they don't understand, especially with the evolution of language. Like, I found out picnic was racist
Yeah.
because of Jaime.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's a heavy subject, for sure. Well, at least this is what I've heard, and maybe it requires a little bit more research as well.
I wasn't going to do it.
But and I know, but it is supposed to be like derived from like an event with like lynching and stuff like that. Yeah, that's where the terminology came from. Now I could be wrong because again, this was just something like just passing over. But I guess my point to you, is that like once we learn about those things, it's all about like evolving our language, right? Like evolving, like going away from and again, because we don't understand it the way it was meant in the past, right? But once we do, it's time to kind of move forward. That's my point. And I understand it's a challenge for people, but for me personally, it's not that difficult. Just adapt to a new thing. Like even like whether that's like just like basic little like lingo that we all adopt. Like saying hella at a certain point, everybody was saying it. What happened? So, and see, that's what I was gonna say because I thought I heard something like that too. But
Wait,
there's
what?
also that the picnic thing is false.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't hear it.
Huh?
I couldn't hear him.
Oh yeah. So Adolfo announced that the picnic thing might be false. But this is also by other people. I mean, yeah. So maybe you're right.
But also,
Maybe the situation
like,
is wrong.
you're right. Language does evolve.
Yes.
So what meant one thing in the past doesn't necessarily mean the same thing now.
Right.
And I know you could be because you can always go back and find something to be like, well, that wasn't necessarily right. But I mean, when we get to these days and we're just all, okay, well, let's like these people came from bad places, but I'm still gonna watch Disney movies, Like Walt Disney wasn't a good person.
Right.
He was an anti-Semite, but we're still watching Disney movies. We still go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
We still praise this man.
Yeah.
So it's how talented do you have to be for us to forgive your anti-Semitism, your racism, how big of an impact do you have to have on
Yeah.
the world for us to overlook this kind of shit? Like, look at Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
People still listen to Michael Jackson music.
I don't listen to Michael Jackson.
But you get to R. Kelly and they're like, well. But you get to R. Kelly and you're just like, well,
No,
I mean,
well-
R. Kelly wasn't as great as Michael Jackson, so we can let that go.
No.
We can forget remix to ignition.
Nah. Well, okay. I'll use the word gypped as an example, right?
Yes.
When I've used it all my life, right? Because it was just something like, they
grew
gypped
up
me. Yeah, they just ripped me off. They just stole money from me, right? And then now that I'm older and I learned about where it actually comes from, it's implying it talks about the gypsy culture.
Yes.
And that's why when you say it's gypped, it's like that they're thieves and you just got ripped off type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And again, so that's where you kind of like, okay, that is could be, there's
Totally
things that we need to
understandable.
like,
Yeah, there are things that
Yeah.
totally agree with you.
yeah, and we just have accepted it because that's just what we know, right? But once you know the truth, the definition of where these things come from, sometimes it's just about evolving your language, though. It's what we do as people, right? It's we adopt new things, and when we realize we don't like them, when we use something else, it's okay to evolve beyond just those words, in my opinion. So I don't get hung up on words. If there's a new word that comes out, like
Because there's a new word that's released.
no.
Like an
Well,
album?
like for example, though, like you can even say retardation, right? Like that's another thing that at a certain point it does become offensive. It has become offensive. You have to kind of same thing with even saying homosexual, because at a certain point homosexual.
I thought that was the correct term.
Well, this is the thing about it though too is that
No homo, right?
when it was I do say no homo all the time, but then it's more like homo.
He's like, I'm not gay. My boyfriend is.
But see, that's the thing. And so there are some people that have a problem with the word homosexual because
Of the negative connotation.
because of the fact that it was perceived as like a mental issue, right? So then you're like, yeah, I don't have an issue like that. That totally makes sense why people would be offended by the word. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Why do they keep using the word queer as a?
Because they're taking it back.
Because queer was mental.
Yeah. So
Wait,
again, but
wait, can I raise your mic?
yeah, because there's a microphone you have for you, Adolfo.
So like the word queer, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
The word queer is
Yeah.
now being used as an identity thing, but back during that time when it was like a medical. It was queer was like a mental this.
And
What do you
it
call
was
it?
also a slur, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but
So certain words evolve.
no, but see, this is the thing, though. Again, but again, there I understand why certain things could be perceived as offensive. Queer, homosexual, those things. Some people don't identify as queer, right? There are some people that identify as queer. Some people identify as gay, whatever. Whatever you want to perceive it, however you want to perceive it. But I understand that my point is like there has to be some understanding as well as to why some of these words are perceived negatively when it gets to that point. Homosexual, I can understand why if it was to declare somebody as like mentally ill, you have homosexual, you are a homosexual, then that's where it became a negative thing, right? Like it was seen as a disease as opposed to the reality of who we are as people.
Yeah.
Was I yelling? I'm sorry.
No. I was already,
Bitch, first of all.
The confusion with the word picnic. Picnic has its origins in France in the late 1600s.
Le picnic.
It's what we have now, right? Like you gather and you enjoy a feast and you pick on food. However, when there were lynchings, some people were having picnics.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool. Thanks for the correct information, bitch.
No, and I agree. Like language evolves all the time, right? We all go from, but I also believe intent matters. You know, like if we're having a conversation and I say something, I think if I'm trying to hurt you is very much different than I didn't know the origins of this word or the Latin roots of them.
Yeah.
You know? So I do believe intent matters.
Yeah.
Like that.
I understand.
Like okay,
Yeah.
like if we're talking and I say, well, you're gay, right?
Yeah.
And somebody else takes offense. Because
Yeah.
that's usually how it goes.
Right.
Like if you and I are having somebody else will just take offense.
Stephanie.
To it, right?
No.
Like there is a third party white woman that will take offense to whatever I just said to you.
Yeah.
But intent matters. Like,
Right.
Like we're having a conversation, and there is no offense. Like there is no hatred. There is no offense to be given. Like we're having a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. So right. There's the intention. There's no negative intention from your part, right? But also you have to understand that everybody, just like you can project, you'll say something based on just how you know language, right? Somebody understands language in a different way and can receive it the wrong way. So it goes both ways, right? Like just like you might not mean it in, to be like disrespectful. Let's say I could have found it disrespectful, right? So that there just has to be some understanding in that sense too, on both parts, not just your part, not just my part, on everybody's part. Like you might not mean it that way, but at the same time, I think it is important sometimes to educate people about the origins of words and the origins of specific situations, because you might not know that you're saying something. So like the word gypped, again, I'll go back to that word. I might not have known. I'm not using it. I'm just explaining. You know how I'm using it. Are we gonna get canceled? That's my point.
Never in my life have I referred to somebody with a mental disability as an artard. Never.
Okay.
Every time I've used that word, it was somebody that's being deliberately stupid.
But then doesn't that mean that you're being offensive?
Hold on. And then I'm like, hold on. Like I've never called somebody with a mental disability that word, right? And I don't believe they should be called that. Like so I'm
but
like, is it more offensive to loop these people in with these deliberate idiots?
But see,
Like, don't get me wrong, I don't use that word anymore.
but again, because that was a medical term at a certain point, right? It was medically implied that this person didn't have the mental capacity. Let's just say it as an example. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but as an example, right? And then you're associating that word that was associated to this disabled person to another person who's an idiot. Then that, like, there's that. That's the point of the wording and the way that we say words and the origins of words. That sometimes those words are not good words or have not even like with little people, right? There's the word that we're not supposed to say about little people, and that's true.
Now.
No, they're little people.
I
don't really know.
Dwarves.
I don't really know.
Or is
either.
that only if they're carrying a battle axe?
Okay. You were getting off this subject. Anyway.
No, like I found out where the term "barrel of laughs" comes from.
Oh my God. Did people die?
So you guys have heard the term "barrel of laughs"?
I have
right?
heard that.
All
yeah.
right, so I don't know how accurate it is. But so I heard the barrel of laughs comes from back in the days, like slaves weren't allowed to laugh in front of their masters.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they would put their heads in barrels to laugh.
Yeah.
Right. And that's like when they were talking, they're like, "Oh, have you ever seen a black person when you make them laugh? Like they run away,
Yeah, or they hide themselves. They hide themselves.
Like that's just trauma at some point.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did see the video about that too. See, shouldn't use that.
Yeah.
What's your take, Stephanie? What do you think
This is all
about
retarded.
Stop! No.
All I could think about was like back in the day where people, I never really, it's just a saying where it's like, that's gay.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh yeah, duh, that's a little offensive.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
that's retarded, you know?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh yeah, that's offensive. Or it made me think back to the Princess Diaries where, the hell's her name? Anne Hathaway.
She's
was
offensive.
She was like, shut up. And then the queen was like, excuse me?
Mm-hmm.
But in American language, that just is like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But from Genovia, they're like, you're telling me to be quiet? Like, how rude. So,
Yeah.
yeah, language is very, very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do it the wrong way, yeah.
Yeah, and it's all just understanding. Ultimately, you know, it's understanding. Again, my thought. It's understanding that we could say things that we don't mean, you know, at the same time, but we also have to understand why that person takes it that way in a lot of senses.
Like here's a great here's a great example, and you might have been there, and I'm not sure if I've told this story here on the podcast. Jaime's vendetta with blind people.
No, it's not me. It's them. They're mad at me.
Yeah.
The community.
So we had this customer that came in one day, and my one of my coworkers greeted this man. And he said, "Hey, boss, how can I help you?" This man took
I was there.
Offense to that.
I was there during this situation.
He took major offense to that. Like, and he got loud.
Yeah.
And I they made me come out from behind my shell, you know, where I was at.
Because you were the manager, first of all. Don't make it seem like you're like just like some regular person.
I had to come out and talk to this man and try to calm him down because he's yelling at me, saying, "I demand this man get fired because he referred to me as boss. Mm-hmm. That is offensive. That is what black people were forced to call white people back in the day. Mm-hmm. You know, this man threw a huge fit.
Yeah,
right?
He was really upset. Yes.
So, where do we draw that line? Mm-hmm. Because boss doesn't mean that, right?
That we know of.
Did they call them? I thought master.
Well. So he. What I remember him saying was like that's a way of just. It was just kind of a way of like
subjugating her?
like just quieting a black person because they were it was just like trying to cover it up, like making them seem like, oh, boss, you know, like to like almost like uplift them in a sense, but also being
like
ironically, yes, that's and so based on his experience, his life experience, you know. But again, obviously, there's no way that we would know that, right? That you and I would know that, or you know, or that you know that, right? But it's more of like his perception of that word. So again, maybe in his experience, that's what happened. You know, it's like somebody was trying to ironically put him down. Maybe he knows more about the origin of that word than what we understand even now. You know, he was really upset. It was a big situation, and he was demanding that, I don't even remember who it was, get fired. But it was like, thankfully you were able to talk him down. Congratulations, props to you for that. Yeah, you're a sweet talker, I guess. But again, it was his perception of what it is. It was not meant to be disrespectful, but at the same time, we don't understand where he's coming from all that much either. Jose.
So that's all the stories I got. But I thought a cool way to end this week's show. Oh wait. I thought a cool way to end this week's show was the 8 best zombie apocalypse comic book series ranked by GameRant.
Cool.
Yeah, like some of these look really cool. So we got Empire of the Dead by George A. Romero, which is a comic book trilogy that tells the tale of a post-apocalyptic society with a twist. So the ruling elite in this society were vampires, and the advent of zombies just made things easier for them. It sounds a lot of these sound good. So they have Black as Night by Jeff Johns, which is a Green Lantern story where Necron, the force of death, brings dead superheroes back to life in the form of zombies.
Yeah, and they're like Black Lanterns, right?
And DC heroes have to come together to fight this force of death. Marvel Zombies, of course.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, alternate universe that tells the story of a world where few survive following a zombie apocalypse, and it's up to Marvel heroes to protect them. There is 28 Days Later. You guys watch some films?
Yeah. It was 28 Days Later is one of my favorite horror films.
Great movie.
Yeah, ever.
So this one serves as a direct sequel to the first film.
28. So this is 28 Days Later?
Yeah, 28 Days Later.
Oh.
So it serves as a direct sequel to the film where it follows Selena and the rest of the survivors as they set out on an adventure full of terror, tragedy, and tense moments.
Zombies.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
This one actually looks really cool. It's called Crossed, and it tells the story of the world where there's a virus called the Cross virus, and it drives people into acting out their vilest, darkest desires.
Ooh. And they become zombies?
Well,
Or
not necessarily. They're more like infected.
Oh.
Kind of like The Last of Us, where they're just more aggressive but so they're not zombies. And what I think is terrifying about the Cross virus is the fact that it sounds like these people still have all their mental faculties, you know, and they're just living out those dark desires.
So they're kind of like trapped in their own
they all
bodies.
become psychopaths basically.
Wow.
And reviews say it's not for the faint of heart due to disturbing imagery, a lot of gore, and gruesome storytelling.
Crazy.
This
Gotta
one
read it.
actually,
Yeah, right?
yes, this one I really want to check out because one of my favorite characters of all time is Sherlock Holmes. And Victorian Undead puts Sherlock Holmes and John Watson at the forefront of a zombie apocalypse.
It's crazy.
So Holmes sets out on a quest for discovering the cause behind the zombie outbreak, and with every passing clue, realizes the reasons might be more sinister and evil than he ever could have perceived. And then there's Night of the Living Deadpool. So a story in which Deadpool is alone with his thoughts and is free to kill as much as he wants.
Is he a zombie? Like a zombie?
I assume everyone else is a zombie around him.
Oh,
It
okay.
says full of witty remarks to himself, a lot of action and gore. This book is the most fun zombie apocalypse story. And then, of course, number one is The Walking Dead.
Oh, wow.
We all know what that is.
Yeah, yeah. I should definitely read the graphic novel. I just hate reading. I'm sorry.
I get it.
I wish that they would just put it like in almost like a video format. Okay, so Marvel. Sorry, go ahead.
No, HBO did that with The Watchmen,
Oh, did they?
and it's really cool.
Nice.
All of the panels.
Oh.
They read.
Did they add
the
voice
story
to it?
for you.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
They read the story for you, and they have voice actors, but it's just the panels of the comic book.
Very cool. Like, and I was gonna say Marvel, like the Marvel app. I don't know what it's called, Marvel Unlimited or some shit like that. When you would buy a comic book, you would get a code, and then you'd be able to get the comic book in digital form, and you could slide through the panels, you know, like the way they kind of they're supposed to be. The only thing that was missing was voice, but to me, it was a lot more interactive, and I would love to see more things like that. Like, I don't want to sit there and read. I'm just not that type of guy.
I get it.
Yeah.
I love reading,
Oh.
but
Loser.
let me be a loser.
Yeah. Words, Jose.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. Why do you
Fight
gotta
him.
take it as a negative connotation?
But no, I love reading,
Yeah.
but I don't have time, so that's
Yeah.
why audiobooks
Yeah.
are where I go to.
And that's the thing. I mean, I guess we're all very similar in that sense. Like, we always have something else that we have to do at the same time, and that's the hard part about reading is you have to sit there and dedicate time to it. You know, and I don't know. I have time, I guess, but I don't really dedicate time to it. Sadly.
I recently started reading Marvel's. Yeah, I know. Avengers versus Eternals versus X-Men. It's really good. But it's like one thing that I don't sit down
Just
and
sitting
read
there.
enough. Yeah, like I'll read some and be like, this is so cool. Why don't I do this more often? And then I forget about it for like a few weeks.
It's like Injustice. It's just thank you, but it's just sitting there.
Really good story.
It's pretty.
Yeah, I finished. So I've been trying to catch up on all the comic books I have because I got like 20 that I just need to catch up on. I finished World's End, which is like an Earth 2 story where Apocalypse is about to destroy the planet, and you have all of these Earth 2 heroes. So you have Val Zod's Superman, you have Thomas Wayne's Batman. But it's a really cool story.
Oh, okay.
But
like just other. They're from like different. It's a different.
Yeah,
oh,
it's a different Earth. Earth 2.
Crazy.
But yeah, so now I'm like, all right, sit down and finish reading Eternals versus X-Men versus Avengers.
Yeah.
It's really cool though. So the story is basically so the Eternals are there to take out deviations, right? Like deviants. But any kind of deviation. So they have noticed mutants find a way to basically live forever, and that triggers the Eternals to be like, well, they're like we've not looked at these mutations as what they are because they're deviations. So they're considering now they're considering mutants as deviants. So they want to take out the mutants.
Whoa,
it's a really cool story.
It sounds cool. How many books is it?
I just bought the
collection.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. I mean,
Pokemon. What the
I
heck?
was
Am I
gonna
not doing
say-
a Pokemon?
I was like,
I was gonna say that's all I got.
Oh.
Like, Jesus.
Well, you
were
said
sitting
to
down-
end the show
Thank you.
earlier,
See,
so I was like,
Stephanie, thank you. I appreciate that because
like-
I noticed that too.
like Professor Jaime.
Yeah, of course. So, Professor Jaime, please tell us.
Who's that Pokemon?
All right, this week's Pokemon. We haven't done one of these in a while, or anything in a while, but it's Palmy, little Palmy. All right, so Palmy. This is.
Hold on.
Whoa.
Clapping.
Thank you. I appreciate
They really
it.
like that Pokemon.
I appreciate it, Palmy. Okay, we have a live studio audience, guys. Is it done? Okay.
I know I could have stopped it, but I just didn't want to.
Yeah, I know you could have.
Okay, so who was it again?
It's Palmy. Don't. Oh no! What'd you do?
Nothing.
Why is that applause so mild? It's like
It is the saddest applause.
yes, we are here. Stop it. Okay. All right. Palmy is this generation's Pikachu clone, is what they like to call them. Stop. Stop. Palmy is the mouse Pokemon and is National Pokedex 921. Dang, we're getting up there. It is. What type do you guys think it is?
Fire.
She knows. Okay, it's fire. Or what do you think it is?
I thought it was fire.
Oh no, it's electric. It's the Pikachu clone.
Pikachu.
Yes, this one works this
You're
time.
right.
Yeah, I'm not judging you guys, but I'm judging you guys.
It's been a while since I played Scarlet.
No worries. Yeah, he's electric type. He's adorable. But there's something about the second one that I don't like. Anyway, in Pokemon Scarlet, it says it has underdeveloped electric sacs on its cheeks. These sacs can produce electricity only if Palmy rubs them furiously with the pads on its forepaws.
Same.
Adorable. In Pokemon Violet, it says the pads of its paws are. That sounded really cute. The pads of its paws are electricity discharging organs. Palmy fires electricity from its forepaws while standing unsteadily on its hind legs. Yeah, Palmy cute. Little Palmy evolves at level 18 and it becomes Palmo. It's like snapping. Palmo. Okay.
When they slap on the desk.
Yeah. So the problem that I have with this Pokemon, it's very lazy. Literally,
That is Pikachu.
well, what I'm saying is that it literally they took
Stood
this
him up?
guy. Look, see, you noticed that, right? You noticed that they literally stood up this Pokemon, and he has like a little bit extra like fur on his ear or something. You know, this generation had some really great designed Pokemon, and then it had Pokemon like Palmy and Pomo, and I was just kind of like, that was lazy. It was very lazy. Little Pomo is lazy. We didn't even need Pomo. But we have Pomo. Pomo is the mouse Pokemon, which is National Pokedex number 922. This one, what type is it, guys?
Electric.
And
Normal.
close.
Fighting.
Fighting. Good job. Yes, it is electric and fighting. It says I say close because to me, normal and fighting are like very similar. Yeah. They don't versus ghosts. You can't really use fighting or normal moves versus ghosts. So that's why I associate them in my head. Yeah.
It was the only one after normal that I could think of.
Yeah. It says in Pokemon Scarlet, it says when its group is attacked. There you go. When its group is attacked. Wait, that word doesn't make sense right now. Stop. When its group is attacked, Pomo is the first to leap into battle, defeating enemies with a fighting technique that utilizes electric shocks.
Same.
In Pokemon Violet, it says Pomo uses a unique fighting technique in which it uses its forepaws to strike foes and zap them with electricity from its paw pads simultaneously. So both of them. This Pokemon is one of the first ones that evolves kind of different. Like in this generation, it was introduced. You put them into what's called Let's Go mode, where they kind of follow you, and then you have to walk 1,000 steps in the game. Have you had any of those Pokemon yet? Like where you've had to walk them?
Not that I know of.
No. Well, so Palmy and Palmo is one of those. Palmo evolves with 1,000 steps. The problem that I have with that mechanic though is that they don't just stay out. Like if you walk far enough in front of them, they end up going back into their Pokeball on their own.
Right.
It's like they don't have the speed to keep up with you, so they just give up. Yeah, it's really
lazy.
cute. It's lazy. As I said, Palmy does evolve and it becomes Palmot. Palmots. Yeah. Okay, so we honestly could have gone from Palmy to Palmot. They got louder to Palmot, and it would have been fine. We didn't need Palmo, which does nothing. It's lighter.
It looks like someone just pushed them.
Push them
like he's
upward.
falling.
Yeah, yeah.
Or he's trying to learn how to stand.
Yeah, exactly. We could have just got Palmot, and we would have been fire. Palmot, however you want to say it. This stop.
Hey man, they're really excited.
The hands-on. Excuse me. This one is called the hands-on Pokemon. It's not a mouse Pokemon. Stop. Jose, stop. It's National Pokedex number 924. And what's the typing on this one, guys?
Normal.
You know.
Well, it's still electric.
Yeah. And then what do you think is the other type?
I'm assuming you're still going to be fighting.
Yeah, it does say it right there too, guys. Just in case for you guys.
I can't see.
I zoomed in. No, it is still fighting. It's electric and fighting, which is cool. Like I'm trying to think about another electric fighting type that we had, and I can't think of it right now.
Electabuzz.
No, he's not a fighting type. Good try though. That it looks like a fighting type.
That was the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, it's like Generation 1, but yeah.
So
Catch up, bro. They're like Generation 8, 9, whatever it is. In Pokemon Scarlet, it says this Pokemon normally is slow to react, but once it enters battle, it will strike down its enemies with lightning fast movements. In Pokemon Violet, it says Palmo's fluffy fur acts as a battery. It can store the same amount of electricity as an electric car. And that's it. Ooh. Those are the 3 Pokemon for these: Palmy, Palmo, and Palmot. Thank you for coming to my poetry corner. This has been Hi Miss Pokedex. You're welcome. Thank you. That's what it is. I'm honored. Right, I appreciate it.
Well, that's our show.
Yes, it is.
Join us next week when we talk about Mario. We all watched it, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, sweet. There you go. We got a show next week. All right. Do you guys have anything else to add?
No, I'm good.
All right, sweet.
Good.
Have a week.
Bye.
Bye.